having clear brand policies. This is something I see lots of brands just don't have. These are sometimes called brand guidelines, which is not really the right term for it. But like policies should be the full spectrum of policies operationally in sales and everything. But on the marketing play, you clearly define what a Z can and can't do, and then just give them a little bit why. Like sometimes just being told they can't do something just gets people defensive, but you just explain why. It's all reasonable. I can't think of anything that I would consider unreasonable from the Z perspective if everything's done right and explained properly. Clearly define what Z vendors can and can't do. That's probably the bigger problem here is vendors and their influence on Zs.
Yep.
I've been a vendor for years. I've worked with Zs directly. Like I know what I told them. And I think back 5-6 years ago, I remember fighting the franchisor and saying, this is wrong and this, that. Now I look at it from the other perspective and go, wow, I was that asshole, that possibly.
I know what you're talking about too.
So yeah, well, that's a different conversation. So anyway, vendor defining what vendors can and can't do is important, and then define the loss of privileges.
But that's important too, because franchisors, you will have vendors that don't understand franchising. They are really good at what they did, like Lonnie was, but they didn't understand franchising, and so it caused more friction that didn't need to be there. So that's an important thing, especially if you're swayed by vendors that your franchisee will bring and they're convincing on why it should be a certain way. You probably learn some things from them, but it can also, they don't understand franchising, you don't know the whys of why you're doing things, then it can really hurt you if you're listening to the wrong people that just don't understand franchising. That's why all of this has been so helpful.
Well, I mean, I can go on for an hour about how the marketing roles in a franchise system is actually only 25% marketing. I mean, if I'm a director of marketing or a CMO, only 25% of my energy in that brand is marketing. The other 75% is Z management and vendor management. That's is the more important thing, and that's what turns into a nightmare when it's just all these different people, different ideas, and they want different accesses, and some want this and that. And so, like defining that up front with policies and creating rules of engagement on that is gonna keep your resources freed up. That can bring you down and just take your team's time away from marketing activities and strategy activities and things like that produce results. And they're over here on calls with vendors trying to explain to them why they can't do something or access something. Just get it on paper. You're going to reuse that over and over and over again and just sell these. This is how we operate. You want to bring a vendor on? Fine. They got to follow this process. They should get approved. Whatever your policy is going to be, I can go on about that, but just have it documented, even if it's just a one pager. Just get something started. I'm telling you, you'll use it in the long run.